Imagine if your own family member refused to read the book you've published unless it wins the Booker Prize. So yesterday I received a very last-minute invite to the Waterstones Debut Fiction Prize ceremony, which was held at their big bookshop in Piccadilly in London, and I was really excited to go and see who was going to win because out of the 6 books that were nominated, I've read 3 of them. I really enjoyed all 3 books and was interested in the other ones, so I went along. It was a big, bustling ceremony, really fun to see and mingle with people. I got to speak with Cecile Pinn, who wrote Wandering Souls, whose novel I loved so much. And so that was really lovely. And then there was the big winner announcement, and it was really exciting that Alice Winn was declared the winner. So that was really wonderful to see, a lot of excitement, and wonderful to hear her speech. But then during her speech, she said this.
And my brother, who still hasn't read the book, he said he would only read it if it won the Booker Prize. Which she was not nominated for, Priscilla, so I guess you'll never read it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now, I know she said this to be funny and charming, and it was, although I assume it was also actually true that her brother probably hasn't read her book yet, and probably also said that to also be funny and charming. But it got me to thinking how, what a shame it is, again, that In Memoriam hasn't been listed for this year's Booker Prize. And I don't want to be somebody that is, kind of like crying over spilled milk and continually bringing up books that haven't been listed for this year's prize, when we should be concentrating on the books that have been listed for the prize and reading them and giving them a chance and discussing them. And because there probably is more to these books than might meet the eye, because the judges saw that they were fit to be listed for the prize. So yeah, I don't want to be that person, but then again, seeing a lot of the discussion around this year's long list and many of the lukewarm responses to some of the books, and thinking again about this novel and how special it is, and what a great choice it would have been for this year's Booker long list, and how it would have opened up more people to read and discover this book who probably wouldn't pick it up otherwise. I can't help feeling a bit like, oh, isn't it a shame that it hasn't been listed? Because I think there's so much about this novel that wide readership would really enjoy, since it is such a thrilling as well as very tender love story, and a story of war, and the way that it's structured in a way to deliver so many surprises. So I found it very compulsive to read, but also it really captured my heart with the emotion of the relationship between the characters, not just the 2 central characters, but the friendships circle that forms in times of war, and between soldiers, and the disconnection between soldiers and people on the home front, and this gap in understanding between their experiences, and there's such a wonderful amount of historical detail in this, giving really a new view of World War II. But also there's so many innovative things about this novel, in the way that it's structured and told, and the incorporation of letters and other elements of kind of media that really enhance the story, and give such a bigger impact on it, and makes it a much more visceral experience reading this story. So it does feel innovative, as well as just being a really great story that I felt so involved with, and knowing that if it had been listed for the prize, a lot more people would be reading and discussing this book. I can't help feeling a little bit resentful, like, oh, it's such a shame that it wasn't listed, and to know that Alice Winn's own brother hasn't read it yet, because it wasn't listed for the Booker Prize. It feels like a bit of a shame, but again, at least it is so great that it did win the Waterstones Prize, and that more people will be reading and discussing it for that reason, because I know it has been a very popular book amongst readers otherwise, and people who have really enjoyed it, and it feels high time that this got some award recognition. So I'm so glad it won that prize, but also it was really interesting the other books that were shortlisted for the Waterstones Prize. None of those books have been listed for this year's Booker Prize, even though books like Wandering Souls and Fire Rush are such great books, and also I've heard like Chain Gang All Stars is a really strong novel, and some people were also disappointed that didn't make this year's Booker list. But yeah, I just found that a surprising thing about Alice Winn's speech last night, and this element of her speech was so funny, but also a bit sad that this book hasn't got more prize attention, but at least it has won this award. So I would love to know if you've read In Memoriam. I made a whole video about why I think this novel is so special, and I'll link that below. And I'd love to hear about how you're getting along with the Booker Prize long list. Are you reading many books from it? Have you found some of them to be disappointing or a bit lacking? Are there other books that you wish had been listed for this year's prize? Please let me know about that in the comments below. But I hope you're doing well and reading good things. I'll speak to you again soon. Bye bye.